This is a exercise that I do to start these horses. So the first thing I do here is I want this horse to walk on a loose rein and find his own balance before I bit him up, so to speak. So what I'm going to do here is keep very careful with this whip, not to spook him and make him go fast, because this is all kind of new to him. So I'm going to get him to walk out as best I can on a loose rein. One thing I don't like to do is get in a horse's mouth the minute I get on him. That seems to be a fad right now, but I like to let a horse get long and loose and low before I really get into their mouth. I just think it's better off for the horse as an athlete. Once I've walked him around here for, let's say, 3 or 4 laps, at a nice little walk here, I'm going to ask him to move into a nice trot, and I want it to be controlled. I don't want it to be out of control too fast. He's just kind of learning to slow down, and every little cue that I use he listens to. So I'm just going to pick up my whip and I'll bet he trots. Okay, here we go. He's trotting. And I'm okay with this trot. It's a little fast, but I'm okay with it. He's not leaning too bad. I don't want a horse to lean when they're working in a round pen. It's very bad for them. So I'm going to drop my whip, and that's his cue to stop. So I'll just wait until he stops. If I'm in a hurry, I'll walk ahead of him a little bit here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check him off to one side here, and this is, if you know your horse, this is very safe if you know your horse. And it also tells me if my horse is safe. It's kind of like an insurance policy. And so what I do is I run this rein through here. And if I'm worried at all that the horse is going to get upset and fight this, I won't tie it off at all. I'll just wrap it around the horn like this, and then maybe tuck it under a time or two. And then that way, if he gets in real trouble, that should come apart. No resistance, no problem. So by putting this horse in a constant curl here, you can see that bit kind of moving just a little bit in the corner of his mouth because the shoulder kind of rubs on the rein. Well, this is a good thing because it encourages the horse to stay real light on the bit. And you notice how nice and loose that inside rein is. It's nice and loose. What this does is it encourages the horse to relax. And it encourages the horse to, when they relax, of course, their head lowers. So when he starts chewing on the bit and dropping his chin, that's encouraging because he's getting on the bit and he's listening. Oftentimes when I'm working a horse in a round pen, I'll tie their tail up because it's distracting to me. It gets tangled up in their hind legs because I'm really watching their legs all the time and their feet. So that's why I do that. I can watch his legs really well this way, and tangling up of the hair doesn't distract me. Watch how I use the whip. I'm dragging it on the ground behind him. Now I'm going to just pick it up enough. I don't want him to be afraid of the whip, so I clucked to him and he went. So now he's in an arc. It's a good pace he's going at. He's working. Watching that hind end drive. Right now I'm riding, if I were riding him, I'd be riding the hind end. Keep that hind end working. I like this gait, this speed, this is good. What I'll do then is I'll let him slow down to where he's lifting more, and then if he breaks into a walk, I'll just get him into a trot again. Now I'm encouraging him to lift more than go forward. Now he's lifting more. Nice. I like that. So he's putting more of an emphasis in going up and down than he is going forward. And that's a really good thing to have on your horse. Now he's gone way too fast. Easy. Easy. He kind of goes into a panic mode there. So we're going to practice that transition. That's better. Now we're going to go the other way. I'm always keeping the whip on the ground so it's not so threatening. Every now and then I'll pick it up and make sure they move away from it. All right, he went into a trot, but it's a soft trot, so I'm going to let him go. What I mean by soft trot is he's trotting nice. It's not a aggressive, I'm going to go fast because I'm not supposed to. Nothing like that. This is good. He's got a pretty steady work ethic in the round pen here. He's pretty steady. Okay. So he stumbled in that same spot a couple days ago, so we got to be careful going to the right. It was his right stifle that come unhinged on Sunday, and this is Thursday, so I still have to be kind of cautious going this way. Going the other way, he has no trouble loping. But this way, we've got to be a little cautious. So what I'll do is I'll ask him to start it up, but I won't make him keep it up. So we'll just transition into it, but then I'll let him die out whenever he wants. That way he'll get better. If you just force him to lope and keep loping, it'll make him worse. Okay. Now, that was a lot nicer than the other day. So he's learning. It's a lot nicer. It shouldn't look like he's speeding up when you go from a trot to a lope. He should not speed up. He should just go into it. I'm really happy with him at this point. I mean, yeah, I couldn't ride him much, but more importantly, I'm building him back up into a real strong, sound horse where he is very rideable. This horse could have easily gone either way. He could have really regressed even worse than he is now. So now when he's standing still, his ears are up instead of back. Aren't they? Aren't they? Huh.